Great, take it away.
All right, my name is Ryan Martinez. My self here presenting today is why automation of the workforce is good for everyone. All right, so first of all, what is automation? So to give like a strict definition, automation is technology applications where human input is minimized. And a basic representation of that is like household thermostat, because you don't have to manually always put in what's the temperature outside, what temperature you want to be inside. There's like settings to where it can automatically turn on or off depending on the temperature. So that's where automation comes in. All right, so the history of automation, it began really in the first industrial revolution, and that was when we began to use coal a lot more, and our economy expanded from mostly agricultural to more industrial things, so like steel production, mass production, and then towards the end of that time period was when we began to use gas, electricity, and oil much more. Then the term automation was coined by Henry Ford in 1940, and that was when Ford created a lot like assembly lines to like automatically do a lot of metal work that up to that point humans were doing. So automation, automatic, that's how that came to be. Then a little after that, that was when we used to use nuclear energy, that's the third industrial revolution, and today we're in the fourth industrial revolution, and that's characterized by the internet as we know today, and also electric. All right, so automation today, some examples is, like self-checkout lines, for example. It's like a partial automation because there still are full-time like cashier workers and still have to do some of the work. You have to scan and tag the items yourself. And something that seems to be more and more automated to a lot of people is transportation. That's because Tesla's investing heavily in self-driving cars, obviously, and so is Uber and then many other players as well. Something, though, that seems to be fully automated is travel agents, because before the internet, if you wanted to go anywhere, you'd have to call someone, try and find good deals, find the time, but now you can just like go to Google, you can go to China if you want, like within like a minute basically, or at least book the tickets. All right, so this is good for everyone because this increases efficiency. It also expands economies and is a sign of social progress. And from a utility standpoint, like to use the quote, tide raises all ships. So it doesn't just increase efficiency and then benefit corporations, it also does produce better jobs for people. So, there's no more there's very few child laborers in the US now, whereas in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, there was a lot of child labor, and it was good because we began to produce more, but as time's gone on, we have grown as a society. So automation of those factory jobs have allowed us to have better jobs, basically. All right, so there's a disagreement about this. There are some researchers who believe labor will be significantly displaced and that there aren't enough laws and legislation that protect certain labor pools. And some researchers believe that truckers are at significant risk. All right, so I use this graph. This is the same one these researchers use. So these jobs are rated on three variables: social, skilled, and how team-based the job is. And then there's immediacy of automation, likelihood. On the outer edge is basically all things medical, scientists, surgical care, emergency response. And the middle of the ground is all things kind of public, so anything in education, civil engineering, things like that. And then everything that seems to be very, very close is stuff like tax preparation, data input, very repetitive work. And the thing that's closest and rates lowest on all variables is transportation. So this creates a rational concern and fear for truckers. And these researchers believe it'll be fully automated in 10 years. And to give that graphic of the average trucker, most of them are high school educated, don't plan for further education. Most of them have families, so it's more than just potentially millions of people will lose their jobs, but it's millions of families will be displaced because being a trucker is actually a very good paying job, and that is a moral concern. So what's the reality of truckers though? So it's unlikely they'll ever be fully automated because being a trucker is much more than just driving from point A to point B. There is a lot of customer service skills that you need to have between loading more things and then deloading. And you also need to have more than just basic mechanical skills. If you get a flat tire, if there's a problem with the transmission, you have to fix it right in there because it's very unlikely that roadside assistance is going to be like readily available for trucking specifically. And job outlook, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, is actually very positive. It's a little bit above average in the average job in the U.S., which is about like 4%, which equates to, I think, like 80,000 jobs being made in the next 10 years. All right, so what can be done about this? Well, we can make some public policy changes to potentially create incentives for corporations to begin creating incentives and training for employees so that if there is a pool of employees that make their job making automated, that they are required to have them do like certain training so that when that job is automated, they're ready to transition to higher level positions. And this embrace of automation will allow it to a lot more of these jobs be created and not taken by like new people maybe coming right out of college. Instead, like these people who have been working in the field for a long time have the chance to maintain their career and further their career, and through educating the public. All right, so summary, automation is increasingly prevalent more and more. It does increase efficiency. It does create more jobs than is automated. AT&T, for example, since 2017, had begun training, I believe, 100,000 low-level employees to transition into higher-level positions in the next 5 years. And truckers aren't going anywhere because it is actually a very skilled, non-routine job. What? Thank you.
All right, it usually helps to take a second to process, so take a second, chat with your neighbor. Were you convinced by the thesis? Were you not convinced? Do you have any questions? Just kind of chat with the person next to you, and we'll just hang out for a second, and then you can do questions.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you were just under 7 minutes.
Okay.
So, just right.
I just realized I never like actually looked over.
That's okay. Are you guys not going to talk to each other? You can do it.
I agree. Do you know if, like, freight train drivers